Really?
In NFL history.
Wow. History?
Yes. I can try to pull it up for you just to prove the number.
Okay.
But I ran across it this week just kind of looking at some stuff in sports, and I saw that, and it was just amazing. He has a better one than Tom Brady, has a better one than Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, John Elway.
Yeah.
They were comparing him to some of the greats.
Wow.
And in his career, Aaron Rodgers has 300 total touchdowns to just 74 interceptions.
Wow.
And that is a ratio of the touchdown to interception ratio of 4. 4 times more touchdowns than interceptions. And he has a quarterback rating of 103.8. So just take the time to just think about that 65% completion percentage and in 144 games, no less. Second is Tom Brady. But, I mean, he is really, you don't really appreciate stuff like that. So a lot of times when his statistics don't look that well or they don't get a lot of those wins, but just to do that in the NFL against all these different types of defensive players and talent.
And to say in history. In history. That's definitely a high achievement. So big shout out to Aaron Rodgers. So quick question. You said Tom Brady's number 2.
Yeah.
Would that give you...
He's still not better. Tom Brady is still... we don't even
you already knew.
Because I'm just going to say ring check at the end of the day.
Wow.
And last time I checked, he's got 4 more rings than Aaron Rodgers. Give or take, Aaron Rodgers only been to 1 Super Bowl, and he won.
Yeah.
But, I mean... I think Aaron Rodgers is the best, pure passer of the football. Because he can throw in the pocket, he can scramble out, he can throw on the move. Dallas fans even know that throw he made last year in the playoffs against them, rolling to the opposite side.
Exactly.
And making that throw along the sideline there. I mean, when it comes to arm strength and accuracy and stuff, he's the best when it comes to that. But I just feel like when it comes to the leadership quality of all the other intangibles you need as a quarterback that may not show up on the stat sheet, I think the clutchness Tom Brady has that, and that's why he has 5 rings.
I accept that
in his career.
Okay, all right. Let's get off.
I
shouldn't have brought him in.
Maybe we'll have to do a separate podcast one day of who we think are the great quarterbacks.
We should. That's actually a good idea.
I think we should do that.
And we're gonna.
We already know who will be the best, though.
And we're going to talk about another great quarterback in this last game. As far as the Lions and Giants, because we both had to go with the Lions pulling out this win, and somebody you just got to believe in, Demo. 24-10, Matthew Stafford, 15 out of 21, 122 yards, 2 touchdowns. Are you ready to believe?
I'll never
Don't shake your head.
You'll never believe in Matthew.
Oh my gosh! And here's another thing for the Lions. Jamal Agnew had an 88-yard punt return for a touchdown. So that definitely helped.
I did see that. That was a big play. That changed the whole course of that game.
I believe it. I didn't get to see it, but man, that's definitely a great step.
It was.
Eli Manning still had a pretty decent game, 22 for 32, 239 yards, 1 touchdown, but he definitely had that 1 interception. I guess that's, like you said, along with that punt return, pretty much sealed the thing for the Lions.
Yeah, they did. I mean, the Lions are 2-0. I will say the Lion Cubs are
not
the Lion Guard. Is that like a show on Disney?
That is the
Lion Guard, the Detroit Lion Guard.
But listen, man,
they're doing okay. I still don't believe in them.
But you wanted to see how he was going to fend off without Calvin Johnson. He was saying that most of his success is because he has somebody great to pass to. Mm-hmm. So for 2 games now, he's had pretty good accuracy without having a key receiver. So I think, how many more games is it going to take?
It's going to take all of them. It's going to take all the games, and then that still might not be enough for me. I do give it to him. He's a good quarterback. He puts up big numbers. Does have a strong arm. He has been kind of plagued with injuries in his career. Yeah. But, he played with Calvin Johnson at the end of the day, man. I still can't ignore the fact of the type of player Calvin Johnson was.
Definitely.
And he really didn't do much with Calvin Johnson. I know it still takes a lot of other pieces around that to be successful to win in this league, but when you have a guy like that, I mean, your numbers are... He's proven a lot without him.
Yeah.
Right now, we'll give him credit for that.
Definitely.
But I just can't believe in Matthew, man.
Hey, man, one day it might come around. I'm not.
He's got to prove he's worth all that money he got.
Oh, definitely.
With me, I wouldn't have not invested that much money.
Definitely
in him, but
I mean, he's the best thing they got right now.
I mean, I understand locking him in, but don't break the bank, as I always say. You know.
Okay, I respect that.
You know?
I respect.
But at
that.
the end of the day, they're 2-0. Like, you are what your record says you are.
There you
2-0, so that doesn't clinch a playoff berth or.
There you go.
Doesn't win the division.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything.
So
it's just 2
2-0.
games. Just 2 games.
Just 2 games.
So speaking of records, man, that is all for week 2. As far as our records with predictions this week, Derek, like I said earlier, definitely won it. He had 12 right. He predicted 12 of them accurately. I only missed 4. As for me, I was 1 short. I was 11-5. So definitely big props to D Moody this week.
Yeah, give me some love there.
Okay.
You know, after that rough start.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
There we go.
You deserve it. You deserve
Comeback trail.
it. Comeback trail. I hear you. What do you mean by that? Is so far, man, as far as both weeks are concerned, as far as the NFL season, right now the record for him is 17-14, and I'm still on top, having that good week 1 with 23-8.
You still had a pretty good week, though, given the fact that you had that monster week and I had a rough week. So,
yeah, but you had a great comeback.
Yeah, I had a nice little comeback. It's not as big of a cushion as it was last week. So hopefully this week I can tie you or overtake you this week for the season lead. But for the past 2 weeks, you have been out in front of me. You've picked some really good games that I went the opposite way on you. We agreed a lot this past week.
Yeah, we did.
So I'm anxious to kind of see what this week is going to bring for us.
Yeah.
We're also going to do something a little bit new this week. Since we do have 2 weeks already in the books for the NFL, we're going to start doing every week our top 5 or power ranking, so to speak, of who we think is the top 5 NFL teams right now. And I'll start from the bottom up for mine. I'll start for number 5. I kind of have a 2-way tie at number 5, so I guess that means 6. I'm not sure. It was a toss up for me with these 2 teams.
Okay.
Denver and Oakland, 2-0. Both of them 2-0. As we mentioned earlier, they do play in the same division, so we'll get to see them play twice this year. Maybe that can kind of help me determine who's a little bit better than the other.
Okay.
I think Denver's had 2 tougher games than Oakland. Oakland played Tennessee the first week, and they kind of had an easy route this week against the Jets. So Denver beat the Chargers and Dallas. So I got to throw them in there, give them respect for that type of win on their home field. Now, both of their wins were at home as opposed to Oakland going on the road and then winning at home.
Yeah.
For me, number 4, a lot of people may disagree. I may need to have this team a little bit higher. But my 4th-ranked team is the Falcons at 2-0.
Okay.
They're much better. I think they are much better than 4, but I mean it's still early. They have been notoriously known for having those little mid-season crisis type seasons where they kind of go on a losing tangent. But they're doing some good things right now with Matt Ryan and everything. I think they have a lot to prove after that. They choked in the Super Bowl last year.
Definitely.
So to come out 2-0 to start the season is good, to not have like a Super Bowl hangover type thing. Number 3, I have the Patriots. A little biased, but I mean they're 1-1. They're not undefeated, but still, as long as they have the killer bees, long as Brady and Belichick is at the helm, you have to give them that respect.
Yeah,
definitely. 5 Super Bowls, the coaching philosophy of Bill Belichick, the clutchness of Tom Brady, and the longevity he's had in his career, they're going to be there in the conversation at the end. Number 2, I have Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Even though a lot of people say, well, they beat Cleveland, they beat Minnesota, but I mean, Pittsburgh, they still have a lot of weapons at their disposal right now. Antonio Brown's looked good the first week. Had an okay game this week. You got Martavius Bryant getting back into the fold of things for them. I'm ready to see Le'Veon Bell have that breakout game. He's yet to break out this season just yet. So I'm just waiting on him to go ahead and erupt. And like you said, you got to give Big Ben his respect too. I mean, he's one of the longest tenured quarterbacks in the league right now, along with Brady, Drew Brees, and Rodgers and Rivers. So you got to give him his credit too. And I like Mike Tomlin as a coach. I'm not a big Steelers fan, but I can step back enough to kind of respect them and what they're doing.
Yeah.
So I expect them to be in a conversation toward the end of the year too, if they can stay healthy. I think over the last couple of years they've ran into a lot of injuries and stuff that's kind of held them back a little bit with Big Ben, Le'Veon, So if they can stay healthy, they'll be in the conversation too. And number one for me, Kansas City Chiefs. 2-0. 2 quality wins to open up the season. They beat New England. They beat the Philadelphia Eagles this week. I think Kansas City's looking pretty good right now. They right now I think I would give them the top team in the league right now.
Okay.
A lot of people may disagree, but I like what they're doing. Alex Smith is looking really good right now. Andy Reid's doing an exceptional job coaching that team. The young talent that they have there, Kareem Hunt, doing some good things right now. And then you look at, the opportunity of them just even getting better.
Yeah, definitely.
So that rounds out my top 5. I'll pass it over to C Moody to kind of see how his differs from mine.
Okay.
The Rams better not be in your top 5. That's all I can say.
I will admit that when I first wrote this, I was definitely going to have the Rams in it. But you know what? Which, now that I'm about to say this, I must give you your props for putting the Patriots at number 3. I mean, I'm glad you didn't want to be too biased because, both
and
of our
predictions. And the reason I kind of
put
them over Atlanta because I can't see Atlanta being over New England because they beat them in the Super Bowl.
I got you. So, yeah, I definitely knew I couldn't put the Rams in this. I mean, I'm trying to abide by records and, kind of going with records and potentials. I almost put the Broncos in here, but I didn't.
Why? That's interesting.
I didn't. The teams that I got, except for maybe one, just feel like they're just better prospects for me right now. But I'm going to start at number 5. I'm going to go in the route you did. My number 5 is the Steelers. Okay. Which I had to give props to Big Ben in thinking of it. You gave him more props putting him at number 2 than I did, but I don't feel like they're still definitely Super Bowl quality, but I just don't see them, making that hard of a stretch right now. But they're still definitely a solid team, always in the regular season, always can pull out a big win in the playoffs sometime throughout. So that's why I got them at number 5. Number 4, I have the Falcons, 2-0.
So we agreed on that.
Yep, both of us picked the Falcons at 2-0. Like I said, they were just in the Super Bowl, even though they had that horrible breakdown, which somehow this was scripted, but that's not the subject. That's not the subject. We're not going to talk about that today. But they're still, so far, have shown that they're still a solid team. The Super Bowl loss, the Super Bowl comeback, the Super Bowl give up, take away, however you want to put it, doesn't look like it's showing them or wearing down on them. They're actually starting kind of fresh to me, like they're trying to make another run for it. Mm-hmm. So that's why they're in my top 5. Number 3, I'm believing in Matthew Stafford. I got the Lions at number 3. I just really, for whatever reason, their defense is holding up their end, and Matthew Stafford, to me, is just I just feel like he's going to keep getting up there. I'm hoping that, and I really believe in Matthew Stafford right now. It's just something about not only just his stats, but the grit when he plays that just makes me believe that he's determined. Like to me, he's what Tim Tebow should be.
Oh,
I heard you. I heard you.
I'll just tease you.
Because he has definitely the passion for it and his grit along with his accuracy. So I'm definitely got him at 3. Number 2, have the Chiefs. Have the Chiefs at number 2. Like you said, they're just a strong team.
Here.
Huh?
Keep going.
Oh, man.
I'm getting upset.
But like I said, the 2, I like Andy Reid. I've always liked Andy Reid. I like Alex Smith, man. Kareem Hunt, he's having a breakout rookie season right so far with 2 games in. Mm-hmm. I really like this team, and I think they're going to be even better than they were last year. So I'm hoping to see them in the playoffs this year, and hopefully they can get over their little playoffs slumps they've been having and kind of go further into the playoffs this year. Except unless they break my Super Bowl prediction, which they can't do. But number one, I'm giving it to Oakland Raiders. And not only because they're 2-0, not only because they have Marshawn Lynch, but just the fashion that they've